South Jersey bad boys. Curveball.
Yeah.
That's
It
how I
always
do
comes
it.
at you. Always comes at you. There was a kid at my high school who our coach was a special ed teacher. He had some students that were very interested in baseball. They would come out to our practices.
Just spank homers.
I wish they would just fucking rip the laces off of these leather balls. No, they would walk around and our coach would just tell them to go find the curveballs to occupy their time, and they would go looking for curveballs all practice.
So fucked up.
So,
What does that even mean? Go find curveballs.
like we got the fastballs here, but we need the curveballs. And he's like, go find them. And like these kids would just go looking for curveballs for like 3 hours.
But what do you mean looking for curveballs? Like just
They thought there was a specific ball that you used for curveballs.
God, dude. Holy hell. That is wild.
Yeah. But then they would be like the student managers. They got to sit on the bench. They wore the uniform. So they were all about it. The happiest fucking kids. And they were just like, couldn't find the curveballs today, coach. But don't worry. Next week, we'll get after it.
Oh, my God. We had a kid that was on our football team that our coaches would... He was terrible.
Yeah.
And they would have him, during practice, go up and film the practices in the stands.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he'd be
get some game tape.
But he'd be in full pads. And, like, they would be like, you go up and you, like, watch the video. And he was, like, such a sweet, innocent kid that he would do it. And he'd be up there in his pads. And I remember saying to the one coach, I'm like, that's fucked up. And they're like, what? He gets to participate. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like, you know, when you're playing baseball as a kid and you're like, you're DH. And you're like, he's a DC. And you're like, what's that? And you're like, it means doesn't count for like somebody's little brother or something. I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous, dude. This he goes to practice.
Yeah.
He's in full pads.
Yeah.
Like he's interested in being here and you guys got him running the fucking video.
Oh, God.
Like, Jesus, dude.
Full
Come
pads
on.
up there,
Let him
Let him wear a polo tucked into some khakis with a visor.
Go out there and get tackled or something, dude.
Yeah, he
Like,
just wants to smash some fucking helmets, and you're just putting him
Dude.
up in the stands, and he has to do it to the guy selling hot dogs.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
Jesus, this is high school athletics in New Jersey, though. That's how it happens. That's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I was at a youth football game for my cousin's kid a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you see these coaches taking it so... This is for
Yeah.
105.
They got laminated play call and things that they're slamming
They're just
everywhere.
freaking out.
Yeah.
The parents, the coaches, and I'm looking around like, are you guys fucking serious? Like, I can't imagine any sane adult caring that much about, I guess they're in 5th grade. Like, 5th grade sport, like, they can't even run the ball. Like, they don't even know... They can barely run with that big of a helmet on. And they're like, watch the toss. What the fuck are you doing, Jimmy? Ref, that's a fucking bad call. Are you fucking blind? Their faces are red.
Veins are popping. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what sort of adults... What sort of dumbasses are you guys what are you doing?
Dude, when I was growing up and I played Pop Warner football, I was playing where the coach, his son stopped playing years prior. They're just out there doing it for the thrill of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could see if you like football and you're doing it, but they were so fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
This was right at the point where, like, a few years prior, you might have gotten away with hitting a kid. And a few years later, like, you would have been on the news if you even put your hand on the kid's back for 0.2 seconds. Like, so they were right in that sweet spot, and they would just, like, get invigorate in their face. Like, it looked like they popped some blood vessels. And they would kind of get a little aggressive, but more in, like, military-like.
I can't imagine caring that much about anything.
No, neither can I. And it's like,
let alone youth sports.
and I just wanted to always say to them that if you took this same type of passion and aggressiveness and applied it to something real, you probably wouldn't be coaching Pop Warner football for the latter half of your life.
Yeah, I just the watching it was astounding because of the lack of awareness. Like, you're sitting there and you're watching these guys yell at fucking refs who are just doing this on the weekend, I guess, maybe a little extra cash, and they're flipping out as if this is a game that matters in any capacity. And I'm watching them going like, man, the majority of people are so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's like, let's be honest. Half of these kids playing out there are going to grow up to be criminals. Like, we don't need to take this seriously.
I think it's specifically football parents, too. Like, I've been to a lot of my younger cousins' games for different sports. Football parents are, like, the weirdest, like, most intense parents.
Yeah, they are. It was the same thing, like, where there was kids that were playing on my Pop Warner team whose, like, sisters or something were on in the same athletic department for, like, the youth thing. I played in a different town because my town didn't have football because it was too small. So we went a couple towns over, used a fake address. That's how I got to play Pop Warner football. Really? I used a fake address because they couldn't.
You're one of those guys?
Yeah, because they wouldn't let anybody.
You were 17. They're like, he's 12.
Yeah, faking
a birth certificate.
Fake birth certificate. We were playing in the weight groups, so like luckily all that. But
a full beard.
Yeah, I had a full beard out there. I was 27, and they were just like, "Hey, you're tackling like 11-year-olds."
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's how it's supposed to be played, and teaching them a lesson.
We fucking win a championship.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, ref. I'm cutting you off at the bar after this.
Did you ever see bench warmers where they have like the one
Puerto Rican dude that comes out there?
The actor, I forget his name, but they go, you got a birth certificate on this kid? He's like he's like 35 years old, and he just hands him like a piece of construction paper and crown that says "I'm 12," and he's like, "Looks good." He's like, there's like $50 in there. So funny.
I will say with football though, like with this kid, there was one kid specifically who I basically started over him in a position, and then they moved him to something else. But he had family, like his sister was a cheerleader in another weight class and all this other stuff. So it was a big problem. And his parents were like, we support this program and have spent this much money over the years.
I had that.
Our coaches were they're like, we're putting the best players in the best possible positions. They were taking it dead serious.
Yeah.
They were like, we're not handing out no participation trophies. And I was like, oh, okay. So now I get to play. And I was, like $120 playing center, and I did all through high school. So,
dude, I had that as well when I was in high school. I was playing safety, and there was another kid who had a rich mom who was really involved with the team.
Yeah.
She did like the dinners and all this stuff, and she would
all the BJs after the games.
Yeah. Sucking off coaches left and right, probably.
Yeah. Doing a couple nickel packages under the bleachers. Yeah.
I remember hearing from other people that she was actively talking shit on me to the coaches.
Or an adult talking shit on you to the coach.
Because I played the same position, and she's like, he's never at practices. I was working 2 jobs that summer.
Yeah.
And I'd be working 2
jobs. And you were 12.
Jobs. No, this was in high school. So I was like, 14 plus, all throughout high school, working 2 jobs in the summers and then going to 2-a-day practices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you crazy, bitch? Like, you're fucking that pissed at me because I got 2 jobs working more than your booster club ass.
Yeah.
And you're, like, she's like, oh, hey, I work really hard and supply dinners for the team. I'm like, I'm working 2 jobs, bitch. I'm 15.
Yeah. You're supplying cock sandwiches for the team. You're out there. I don't come to your job and slap the dick out of your mouth, lady. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that she worked them, and they were afraid. And not going to say that I deserved the spot, but
dude,
I'll tell you what, I didn't get it.
There's a lot of politics in Little League. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of politics, we got a lot of voicemails.
Ooh, we got a lot to get to.
I'm going to make just like from here on out, I'm just going to make absolutely no sense with any segue. So speaking of politics, we got a lot of voicemails. We got a lot of concerned fans.
I'm very excited. So let's just tee this up really quick. We put a hotline in our bio.
We got the bad boy hotline. We put it out on the internet, and we let the internet call in.
To just whatever you guys want to talk about or say. We're just interested to hear our listeners and what you guys have. And we have at least I haven't listened to these yet.
I've listened to them because they come over. Google tries to translate voice to text, and trying to read them in an email is hilarious.
Yeah.
But the number for the hotline, in case you want to call in and talk to us about whatever you want about any women that took your job on the Pop Warner football team or the high school team.
Definitely share your stories.
Yeah, if you want to oust a gym teacher from touching yourself inappropriately and you've hid it under the rug, I mean, whatever you got.
Definitely don't share that story.
Yeah. I'll share my own on here. It's our program. And but the number, if you want to call in, is 856-617-4626. Jingle to come.
Whoa, that was
jingle to come.
Jingle to come. Maybe let's separate that after talking about kids getting diddled.
A jingle is to come.
No jingling and no coming on this podcast. That's our 2 rules.
These voicemail very well make you elicit some bodily fluids, though. So here is the first one that we got, and I'll just play it right. Let's just get right into it.
Okay.
Every night before I go to bed, I weigh the options between murdering someone or just laughing it off.
Oh my God, that's the first. Let the record show the first voicemail on the podcast.
Our first voicemail that we've played on the podcast.
Is a potential murderer.
Yep, we have the best fans.
I love how they don't even block their number. I mean, we don't know who that is, right?
No, neither.
Like, that's not a friend. That's a random person.
You might know that guy from the open mic scene. And he called, you know who you are, but you called in from your work phone number that has your name and literally your office tied to it.
What? Oh my God.
Do you got a paid cell phone plan? That's great. But I mean, let's break it down.
That's hilarious. We should release that to the company and say, yeah, we got a call from an employee of yours. Every night before I go to bed, I weigh the options between murdering someone and just laughing it off.
I've been there. You've been there after a long day of work.
What is he weighing the odds? He's like of murdering someone and laughing it off, or what? Or not doing that, I guess, is the option.
I think between murdering someone and then just laughing it off. So
so you can murder someone or laughing it off.
Yeah. And I just picture him just laying there like Private Piles in Full Metal Jacket, just laying there staring at the bunk above you, because this guy definitely has a bunk bed.
What does he do for work that he's sitting there every single day, coming home, and he's laying in his bed going, you know what fucking Jennifer said to me in the office today? I know I should laugh it off, but there's part of me that just wants to fucking kill her.
Yeah. How dare she take my 401k contribution down 1%? Yeah.
Oh my! This guy's going through it. He's got some real stress that he's weighing out.
Yeah.
Should I just laugh this off, or should I just fucking go for it?
Now, I think this is a question that anytime you get yourself, and this is an advice podcast. It's a Christian truck driving advice podcast, and if there's one thing you can take away from it, is this piece of advice, which is actually pretty good, coming from a South Jersey comedian, is I weigh the options between murdering someone and laughing it off. That's the one thing. Instead of what would Jesus do, it's got to be weigh the options between murdering and just laughing it off.
I do get that. You know, in all seriousness, I mean, when you get ticked off enough at work, and you're sitting there going, you know what? I could just really fucking blow the roof off this place.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll just laugh this one off.
Yeah, yep. I had that.
We should maybe bleep some of this. I don't know if this is starting to sound a little too serious, that people are gonna think that we're terrorists or murderers or something.
I hope they do take it, because when I worked the gas pumps at Wawa, I couldn't tell you how many times I decided I just wanted to. Should I just laugh it off or light this match? Just think of that when you're
get to
gas
that boiling
attendant.
point.
Yeah, you hit a boiling point. If you're a gas attendant and you got people honking their car horns at you because you didn't get to their car within 15 seconds, this is more of a therapy podcast.
Work has got to be the number one thing that does that to you, though. That gets you to a boiling point where you start thinking, maybe I should just end it all.
Yeah, because you don't get to choose your coworkers. You're put in positions with coworkers that you have to work with.
And a lot of times you're stuck. You're like, I can't fucking get another job. I got a DUI. And I need the money. I got 3 fucking kids. And you know what? I got to just suck it up. But there's part of me that just wants to let it all go.
Just let it all go and just leak some carbon monoxide into that office building. And then if you ever started like plotting the murder in your head, and you're like, you're
married. You've done that plenty of times.
Yeah, and then you hit a wall where you're like, no, I'd get caught, or no, I wouldn't be able to lie to the cops.
And that's when you laugh it off, when you go, I could never get away with it. That's silly.
I just laugh it off with me getting like a lie detector test. It's like, oh, I would sweat in my palms and my hands would be all clammy. That would be so funny. Like, they would pick me apart so easily. Man. I wouldn't get away with it, so I'm not going to do it.
Well, thank you for calling in, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, thank you. We often find ourselves in the same situation, so we're there with you. We stand by.
And, let the record show, and let's be clear, laugh it off, guy.
Yeah, just laugh. This is a comedy program. Laugh it off. If you do end up doing something else, post about it on Craigslist, and we'll read it through there on this program.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to voicemail number 2. 2 out of 3. Here's voicemail number 2, and this is a very nice one, as it's reconnecting with a long-lost family member.
Okay.
Dan? Hey, it's Uncle Drew. I know it's been a while since you heard from me, but listen, I hear you're doing some comedy show in the strip mall.
I know this opening.
Creek or something? Place isn't even on a creek or a river or even a fucking stream for that matter. It's in a strip mall.
Drew, why are you out of breath leaving a voicemail?
I'm not trying to judge anyone, but what the fuck's going on here, Dick?
What the fuck happened?
I got to hear the rest of this intro.
Here we go.
Drew's out of breath ass.
Well, Google Voice, this app sucks.
I'm not trying to judge anyone.
Here we go.
What the fuck's going on here, Dan? Just saying, maybe think about selling drugs.
Hey, good advice.
Yeah. You got to look for it already.
True.
I mean, hell, I'm sure people come up to you all the time asking for drugs.
Oh, that's
and
why
your sidekick, what's his name? Sweet Cheeks, Brendan?
Sweet Cheeks. He's been thinking about me.
He looks like he's roofied girls for the past decade. So I'm sure the two of you are like the Batman and Robin of selling drugs.
Okay.
Just saying, think about it. Anyway, I'll talk to you in another decade or so. Kiss your mother for me.
Wow. From the stylings of Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew, thank you for calling in. And this yet again, another very not only positive, reassuring life advice type of voicemail. He hit the nail on the head. I look like a guy that should be selling drugs outside of the Honolulu airport.
Yeah.
So and
apparently I look like I roofie girls for a decade. For the past decade.
I'm surprised that he brought that up out of your past. You've moved on from that style.
Yeah. I mean, background checks are 10-year lived. So, that should clear by now.
You're dropping roofies in people's drinks in this economy?
Not since grade school.
No, not in this economy with the Biden administration and what they've done to the cost of roofing. No way would you find yourself out there at bars just trying to pick up some flies.
That is what they call me, though. Sweet Cheeks Brendan.
Sweet Cheeks Brendan. He definitely had that sitting in the back of his mind for a while.
He's just been eyeing up my caboose going, man, he's got a nice keister on him. He's got a tight little ass.
He's got a nice little keister on him.
Man, this brings me back to prison. This brings me back to the prison days. Those boys with the nice tight asses.
Yeah. Oh.
Sweet Cheeks Brendan. Hey, I like that. You know what? Next Crick show, I would like to be brought up as Sweet Cheeks.
It's gonna happen now. Which is we got some coming up later this month, and this is coming from, of course, the Comedy on the Crick, not the Creek, but they got new locations coming up and everything. If
he's got a bunch of spots popping up left and right, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah, so if anybody likes that voicemail, definitely come out and you can hear him give a nice.
It sounds like the judgment of a solid businessman, if you ask me.
Instead of the things that he says before every single show and the next one, he should just read this verbatim.
I think that it's pretty close as it is, but I think this is honestly better.
Yeah, I like this as well. But
it's more concise.
It's nice that, I haven't seen Uncle Drew since, I think, when did we see Uncle Drew? 2007, was it? And back then, he was our roofing supplier, so it was a lot easier. But now as a Batman and Robin, we're doing it for the better of the people in this area. Because sometimes, as we know, there's a lot of comedy shows outside Comedy on the Crick that you probably would rather take roofing during. So I get where he's coming from.
Batman and Slobbin.
Batman and Slobbin. Yep.
That is our calling card.
Now, we have another voicemail here that came in from a phone number to which you and I don't have in our phones. So whoever this is, we appreciate you following us online, but I don't think we're that close. However, he makes a lot of really inside baseball references. So we'll let this one play out here.
Interesting.
This is this will be a good one. So here's voicemail number 3 out of 3 for this past week.
Hi, I'm calling to respond to the Craigslist post made by XX Gary Frisch 74XX. I'm real interested in that custom S16 butt plug you've got listed there. It matches my F14 Tomcat flashlight perfectly. I'd love to hang out sometime. I'm a big fan of that new Top Gun. Also, I tell you, I already own 2 Blu-ray copies because I wore the first one down, you know what I'm saying? Like how you used to break VHS X-rated movies by rewinding the same part too much. Yeah, man, I rewound that so many times. I wore out the fucking Blu-ray disc, man. I love them planes so much, man. I could barely make it through the opening night release show without busting, man. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean, man. All right, well, I hope to hear from you. And you've got great feet, by the way. Please keep posting those. All right,
I honestly can't figure out who that is.
I listened to the voice and I put it with a few different people, but the only people
Lily farting.
Oh, shit. Nothing like a girl dog fart. But Yeah, speaking of girl dog farts, this voicemail, I just can't put together who would know inside baseball like this in that voice.
Gary Fresh?
Gary Frisch, local stand-up comedian Gary Frisch.
Could it be Gary Sharpie?
Gary Sharpie? It could be Gary Sharpie. It could be Mark Peoples.
Definitely not Mark Peoples. It sounded too much like a manly voice.
Yeah. However, it did come over in just audio, and at this point, those guys got video now too.
They put on a southern accent.
Yeah, a southern gay accent. Was this Gay West that called in about Gary Frisch?
No, we would know.
No, we would definitely know. There would have been a picture attached to this.
Although Gay West has a southern gay drawl, which would match the profile, but I do not think this is Gray. We'll have to double check with him later.
This is a mystery. And speaking of the Top Gun Blu-ray,
can we listen to it one more time?
Yeah, let's get it going one more time here. We're gonna pick this fucking apart.
Hi, I'm calling to respond to the Craigslist post made by XX Gary Frisch.
Made by XX Gary.
XX. I'm real interested in that custom F16 butt plug you've got listed there. It matches my F14 Tomcat flashlight perfectly. I'd love to hang out sometime. I'm a big fan of that new Top Gun. Also, I tell you, I already own 2 Blu-ray copies because I wore the first one down, you know what I'm saying? Like how they, you used to break VHS X-rated movies by rewinding the same part too much. Yeah, man, I rewound that so many times. I wore out the fucking Blu-ray disc, man. I love them planes so much, man. I could barely make it through the opening night release show without busting, man. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
Laugh.
Right, well, I hope to hear from you. And you've got great feet, by the way. Please keep posting those. All right, bye.
Man, I am at a loss. I am at a loss for words and for Blu-rays.
Yeah. And I'm hard. This just really got me going.
Big fan of that new Top Gun.
Big fan of that new Top Gun. I already own 2 Blu-ray copies.
Wow, I love it. I'm so happy that somebody called in for the Craigslist post.
Yeah. We should start making Craigslist posts so that people can call in.
Yeah, and then collect the calls that way.
And we collect them that way, and then call people back. It's just a lot of people on there are being dead serious.
Man, from a 609 number, that's got to be a fellow
South Jerseyan. It's got to be somebody we know calling from a
I was gonna guess a Jim Kelly.
I was gonna guess
put on a nice accent.
Yeah, he's definitely able to do it. He certainly does it when he's working the sex phone lines. So
yeah, he's got experience.
Now, if I called one of those and this feller answered it, they'd run me dry.
What friends of ours have an F16 butt plug? Let's start there.
F16, are we talking like the size of an actual F16 or one shaped like one? Because one going like that in there can't be too pleasant.
Either way, the shape or the size is a concern. You should get a colonoscopy.
Help. Yep. You can't order one of those on QVC.
Man.
But yeah, a lot of VHS X-rated movies. I'd imagine those are not even X-rated. They're just snuff films that were pulled out of a Storage Wars type of situation. But Jesus.
Either way, I mean, we appreciate the compliments.
We appreciate it. We got a lot of good fans that came in. We got 3 again. Leave us a voicemail confessing to a crime or just responding to a Craigslist ad.
Letting us know that you like our feet.
Yeah, that's 856-617-4626.
And good luck with the butt plug.
Yeah, good luck with that. I hope you get it out of there and you can move on well from that. So,
wow.
Yeah. Well, now moving on from our voicemails of the week, we got I saw this video going around the old twatter.com.
Ooh, this already looks funny.
This is amazing. Let's just check this one out.
Oh, man.
Instantly like a child in my
People
own
in
house.
love, they yell at each other all the time.
Oh, that's true. Ask him, he's been married for how long?
Over 20-something years.
Over 20
Look at him, though. He look mad. You don't look happy, brother. You don't look happy.
He's very happy.
Min Chow, a former TV show bailiff and current Harris County deputy charged with his wife's murder, now ordered not to attend her funeral. Renard Spivey appeared before a judge today. He's facing very specific rules for his bond. David Gonzalez explains.
Now, weirdly, he's not as funny in the second video.
No, the second video there wasn't as much laughter coming from the fake courtroom where you get to sue your friends. But
holy shit, look at that suit. He's got an hourglass tight suit on.
He does. He's got a nice body. You notice how he was like limping up to the judge stand, because anytime you do that, what's his name did it?
That guy's built like fucking, what's his name? The famous bodybuilder.
Oh, like he looks like Terry Crews.
Yeah, he is fucking huge. That's hilarious. When the guy says that, he has this look of shock on his face where he's like, "Do you know something?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, yeah, it's hilarious."
As that guy was saying it, the bailiff started sweating a little bit because his wife's body was definitely under his porch.
And she's like, "You know what it's like? He's been married 20 years. He bitches about her all the time."
Yeah. He comes to work and he says that, I'm just sometimes wondering whether I laugh it off or murder.
Yeah. Wow.
This is what happens when you don't laugh it off. Yeah. This is what
laugh
happens.
it off, bailiff.
He had it made. He was a daytime TV fake courtroom bailiff.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, he's wearing like a Halloween Party City costume on TV for a living to stand there for actors, or not even actors, just like, Drew Montana sued his friend to go on Judge Joe Brown. They're all fake, just looking for reviews.
Wow.
Or not reviews, for just insane shit to happen.
Where did you find that video?
It was trending on the twatter.com.
So somebody put those two together,
and just posted it
for the irony.
They didn't see it coming, right? Like, where did you think that was going?
I wonder if they said how he
did it,
how it all went down.
Well, this guy isn't white, so it wasn't creepy. Probably it was probably a pretty standard homicide. Now, what they said here at the end,
yeah, white guys do murder creepy.
They do make
they
it
get
really
real creepy with it. It's
I just want to
be a murderer, dude. Stop with the creepy bullshit.
Just fucking do it and get it. Like, they're efficient. Like, I'm sure this African American gentleman was very efficient with the murder. He just did it. He wasn't confessing to it.
It sounds like a compliment, so I'll agree with you. But in case anyone's offended by that, I don't agree with you.
Yeah, we'll go either way on that.
But what we're trying to say is white guys are creepy with it. Like the Dahmers, it's like they go the extra mile. They start eating people, and it's like too much.
Yeah,
man.
you don't have to do that. Yeah, you're pandering too much.
Dude.
Just do it. I just want to take some photos, man. And
it's over the top.
Yeah,
just over the top.
Yeah. I wonder if he actually got found guilty or not. They said that he was on bond and they wouldn't let him go to his wife's murder, which in that case, because you know that if, like in my instance, if Rachel turns up dead, they're coming to me first. And
obviously, look at your shirt and general appearance.
Let's go to that.
Everything that you've said.
Yeah, they'll be playing back these tapes in a courtroom.
And you're like, I'm joking around. Yeah. I got a podcast.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's like, hey, can you pull up that video of our podcast? I'll get us some views in the courtroom. It's like, hey, can you play that? No, refresh it.
Yeah.
Refresh it again. Can you subscribe while you're at it?
Yeah.
Yes, I did say on there that I murdered my wife, but I was kidding.
That's South Jersey Bad Boys on YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah. That's
start promoting.
Our hotline is 856. Yeah.
I'm gonna be at Comedy on the Creek this Friday.
Yeah. Yep. Because Drew would get me out.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's been in there.
Yep. If you get fucked, you go to Andrew Duck.
Wow.
But yeah, the
new Crick shirt.
Yeah. This guy, he couldn't go to his wife's funeral because while he was out on bond. But that brings up an interesting thing. People that like O.J. Simpson, I think he ended up going to Nicole Brown's funeral. How does that work? Where if you're out on bond, but you're a suspect in your significant other's murder, like, is it tacky to go to the funeral? Or is that kind of helping your case? If you go to the funeral,
I would imagine that looks suspicious if you don't go.
Yeah.
It's your spouse.
Exactly. But then if you do go, people are going to be pissed if you're the lead suspect, but it's just like, hey, what do you got on me? I bleached everything. You don't have any evidence.
Well, yeah, I think it's a lose-lose. If you don't go, you look suspicious. And if you go, yeah, you're going to get some shit. But it's like, if you have nothing to hide, then you should go.
I ain't got nothing to hide. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if that holds up in court for you.
Yeah. So that was one interesting video there. This one's timely, so I want to play this one. And we got a bunch of other ones, and we probably don't have time. We'll push some of these the other week. But here's one.
How are we doing on time right now? I didn't check.
We're at 31 minutes right now.
All right, so we can knock these two out.
So here's another video. This happened this past week. This was up in Belmar.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Belmar, New Jersey. Whoa! Holy shit!
Oh shit!
No way!
Shit, I got that on video. Holy!
That guy has a fish on his line.
Is he trying to catch it?
He has the fish on his line.
What the fuck?
Whoa!
You got your fish on? Still got him. What the fuck?
Man. Oh my God.
Yeah, so like here's a look at that humpback whale that came out of the water going after all that fish that you saw surfacing.
Wow.
Which is crazy because I didn't know that this happened.
That's like me when I try to pull out.
Yeah. just a big
Oh, shit!
Dude, that almost landed right on the boat.
There has been so many videos of kayakers and people in small boats where humpback whales breaching just land on top of them. And it's like a 2-ton whale.
Oh my, look at how big that is. Wait,
those are all...
Is it coming up, like, do they do that to scoop up a whole bunch of fish like that?
So they have their like mouth, and I didn't know this was gonna turn into like a David Attenborough documentary, but the mouth on this thing, it's like a pelican, and it like is very... It absorbs all this water and all these things, and it has a filter to where like the plankton and small fish that get in there, water gets out, but the fish and the plankton
will stay
can't.
In there.
So it's like a big pouch that just comes up to the surface, and that's why when you
that was in Belmar, New Jersey.
This was off the coast of Belmar.
The fact that like we could be swimming around in our local ocean in New Jersey,
our local watering hole,
and there's a whale under there, dude. This is literally the scenario last week. If you're just in the water and all of a sudden you see that coming up beneath you,
coming up beneath you like that, and when the fish starts surfacing, look how close to shore they are. This is in Belmar.
Oh my God. And you see all the other boats around?
Yeah, exactly.
If that landed on the boat, I mean, he's dead.
Oh, yeah. They're sinking. They're going down, and it's cold. They could have gotten hypothermia. I mean, the water is a lot colder right now than it was.
I mean, he would be squashed from
that whale hitting them like that. I wonder if the whale saw him and the whale kind of like backed off a little bit and didn't want to land, because it would fuck the whale up, too, if it landed on a boat.
I wonder if they think that through at all.
They're smart creatures.
They are smart. I wonder what their awareness is of boats.
Yeah. And this was happening all weekend in LBI too. The fish apparently were running. I have a buddy down there that was telling me who lives in LBI that like the fish were massive. They were all over the bait fish, the schools of it. So it was attracting these humpback whales right off the coast, all the way up and down the shoreline.
Wow. Is that like just a seasonal thing?
I didn't know it was a seasonal thing. Apparently this is very common to happen off the coast there. But like now I'm seeing videos of it like crazy this year.
Oh my God. I can't believe that. Like you forget. You go to the Jersey Shore, you jump in the ocean, and you forget that something like that could just be floating around. Wait, can you replay that one more time?
Yeah, and get a look at these bait fish.
I love looking at whale stuff like this, and not just on Craigslist.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh,
dude, his reaction is perfect.
Video.
The fact that he's like, I got that on video. I would be hauling ass out of there so fast.
He was just like, oh.
What if it does it again, dude?
You got your fish on?
They had to have gotten soaked, too.
This guy didn't even flinch, dude. He's like the Kobe Bryant of the sea. Just looked that whale in the eye. Yeah. Didn't even move. He's like, hold on, I got a salmon on the other. I got a nice bass on the other end of this. I'm not letting it go.
Yeah, he might be like the Michael Jordan of the sea, because if he was Kobe Bryant, he would have gone down with his ship.
Oh my God, that's could be a trash can.
Well, we're gonna get some heat for that one. However,
look at this guy's grin.
That
is pure happiness. He's like, I've seen some shit in my day.
That's exactly like you said. That's what you're like when you have some of your man gravy spilling out. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah. When I fire one in there,
that's what it looks. And then that's my face watching it. Yeah.
With the sunglasses on, just for the splash zone.
Yeah, this is literally me in the corner of your like bathroom where I'm supposing most of this happens. So like you're a shower kind of guy, right?
Oh no!
Just stand up. You get like a chair in like the corner of the shower. This is me standing in there with this on though. Yep, these sunglasses.
That is hilarious. That is my favorite video that we've played on here.
So those are the two of this week, and then we got like a couple. Let's get into some this others. I'll keep one story for next week because it's a pretty good one. But here's a timely local one. Wawa's decision to close 2 stores is a dire statement about public safety in Philadelphia. Basically, I don't know if you saw, but Wawa is basically pulling out all of their stores out of Center City.
Because it's so bad?
Because the crime, the teens, the damn youths ransacking Wawas. You see all the videos that have been going around social media? The one girl's like, hey, are you going to make my sandwich or not?
Oh, my God.
So Wawa's pulling out, but the point that I took from this is that, like, it had to take for Wawa to take away a 24/7 convenience store from Center City for them to be like, whoa, we have a problem here.
Right.
It's like,
how are we gonna fix this?
How are we gonna fix this? Because they get
how these guys gonna knock it off? We're gonna have to shut down the Wawas.
Yeah.
Keep out the riffraff.
And that's what I'm like.
The number of murders in Philadelphia has gone up every year Kenny has been mayor, climbing from 277 in 2016 to a record 562 murders last year. The killings this year could set another record. I mean, Jesus.
Jim Kenney is a first ballot Hall of Fame mayor when it comes to crime going up in your city. Look at those
2,000 shootings in the city this year.
Yeah, an average of 6 shootings a day.
Wow.
So Wawa's like, we've had enough. None of those numbers.
We're winning the championship this year, dude. I don't care if it's the Sixers or the shootings, but we're getting one in 2022.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny's putting up these Hall of Fame numbers. They went from 277 to 562. That's like a guy batting 277 for the Phillies one year, and a few years later, he's batting 562. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's just incredible. 6 shootings a day. These numbers have been in the headlines for years, and no one's batted an eye. But then they're like, oh, yeah, hey, you probably won't be able to get that drunk hoagie at 3 a.m.
And they're like, what's going on?
Hey, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, we need to stop this at once. There's going to be protests outside of there, not against the violence and the crime and everything else happening in the city, but because Wawa's leaving.
Mayor Kenny has to make a statement where, like, to express how serious this has gotten. He's like, listen, with the shootings going up 250% in the past couple of years, we've decided that the best thing to do is shut down the 2 Wawas in Center City. That's how we're gonna figure this thing out.
Yep.
It's the Wawas.
Yeah.
It's causing all the ruckus.
The Wawa's causing all the ruckus.
It's not all the lack of training and enforcement that I'm implementing. I think it's the shorties. I think it's
the shorties or the hoagies and the shorties.
Too many hoagies and shorties floating around in this city.
Yeah,
getting people wild off of fucking ham and cheese.
Yeah, there's also too many shorties shooting people inside of the Wawa as well. But Kenny, this isn't even like some right-wing argument. Everybody on both sides, he's like the mayor. What was the guy, de Blasio? Everybody hated de Blasio. Everybody hates Kenny. Kenny said in that interview that he's
sitcom. Everybody hates Kenny.
Everybody hates Kenny. It's just going to be Jim Kenny walking around getting D-batteries thrown at his head from everywhere, every direction he goes.
Deborah!
He literally said in an interview that he's going to be happy when he's not mayor anymore.
Wow. Talk about a guy who just does not give a fuck.
He said that to the press. The people that put him in office are his boss. I mean, we're the public, and he's getting paid from our taxes, or Philadelphia people's taxes. Could you imagine telling your boss, like, I'm going to be happy when I'm not working this job anymore?
Especially when you're a public servent in the public eye like that, where it's like, you know, like if Biden at this point just made a statement, which, you know, obviously they don't allow him to do or get him out of the basement at this point.
Come on, man.
But if he was allowed to speak and he got up there and was like, guys, I don't feel like doing this shit anymore. Honestly, that'd probably be the truest thing that he's ever said.
Yeah. And then we could just like, okay.
You know what? You're actually a little more likable now. I believe you.
I actually respected Kenny when he said this. I think over the summer, it's like, okay, at least he's being forward. But then he backpedaled on that statement and said that he was just in a heat of rage. But I mean, just
Philly is bad right now, man.
It's so bad that only 85% of people.
South Jersey bad boys, but
we're the South Jersey bad boys.
Philly's
we keep it bad in a different way. We're bad like we like shoplifted from Claire's in the Deptford Mall.
Yeah,
like that's our level of bad.
We skirt around Humpback whales and the Belmar.
That's the difference. Over here on our Citizen app, you ever look at the Citizen app of crimes that are happening in your area? Over here around like Cherry Hill, the biggest one that can come up on there is that like a girl named Tiffany had her Starbucks order spelled wrong on a cup. Right. But if you go into Philly, it's like that same person just committed a quadruple homicide.
I mean, that is insane. That's crazy.
The best part about this, the one stat that stood out the most to me is this one right here. 85% of residents believe gun violence has gotten worse in the last 3 years. 15% of people are saying, you know what? It hasn't actually gotten any worse.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck are we looking at here?
5% of people. I remember when I lived in Philly, 2 dudes got shot right out front of my apartment. And shot and murdered, just gunned down. Me and my brother were watching Game of Thrones on the couch.
I thought you were going to say we were watching them.
No, they got fucking holy shit, this is exciting. No, we're watching Game of Thrones, and all of a sudden we hear like, pow, pow. And like, You know, there's also random fireworks that go off in the
All
city.
the time,
so
yeah.
you're like, was that a fucking firework or something?
Yeah.
But then we're like, dude, that was a gunshot. You
Yeah.
look out, and you hear the car like sped off.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
it was like heard the gunshots. You heard the car like just turn around the corner, and obviously we like shut the door and just go back in. And the next day, like just down the block, there's chalk lines. You look it up. There was like a spree of a drive-by shooting that murdered 2 people, and then like one guy like fell out of the car on like Washington Avenue and like died later on down the road.
Jesus
not
Christ.
too far, but you're like, oh my God, that's what that was.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's insane.
It is crazy. And then it was just like this past year, there was somebody that robbed somebody, shot and killed someone and robbed them. And as they were getting away, he got shot and killed and then got robbed. So like
Really?
a guy robbed someone who just robbed somebody, and it was a double
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it really is. It's like literally just playing out before our eyes here in Philly. I lived in Philly too, and there was a double homicide across the street from my house.
Oh, we all know.
We all know. We all know, but most people don't know is that I've been getting away with that shit for years, and I'm not confessing to it here because I'm saying hypothetically, if I was involved with that case, I did speak to the homicide detectives. That was the time where the double homicide happened, and my car was parked outside, and it had the dash cam.
Yeah.
2 homicide detectives showed up at my parents' house looking for me.
Yeah.
So it's like your parents answer the door, and it's like, oh, hey, we're homicide detectives from Philadelphia, and we're looking for your
And
son.
like, he finally did it. He
Yep.
finally snapped. We
So-
told him to laugh it off.
Yeah, we told him to laugh it off, and he just didn't laugh it off. And that's when my dad called me, and he's just like, what'd you do this time? It's like, not much, but a bitch got a little mouthy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
But yeah, this is where we are. So we got the Wawas over here. We're going to keep it bad, but we're not going to keep it bad in the Wawas because we're not going to get them taken away from us. It's like a teacher taking candy.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
Yeah, we're not going to be bad enough to... We'll commit the crimes outside of the Wawas.
Yeah.
We will sell counterfeit tickets to Eagles games coming up in the parking lot, not in the bathroom. Yeah. We'll eat our hoagies off the trash cans and be happy.
All right. Well, I think it's probably a good place to end it.
Trash can hoagies. Yep, that's where we're at. Call into the Bad Boy hotline. Put the phone number up. Leave a voicemail. Text us. Send us a photo. Tell us that we can call you. Like, we'll just start calling people.
And we might get into some conspiracies next week, so stay tuned.
Yeah, actually, stay tuned for that. We're going to have a conspiracy segment either next week, one of our Halloween episodes. We'll do a spooky little...
spooky little conspiracy segment.
A little conspiracy
Spooky little conspiracy segment.
Yeah, spooky. We'll have our pumpkin spice lattes, and we'll sit here
And get spooked out.
and we'll get some candles going. We'll turn the lights down. Yeah, this will be good. This is going to be white woman heaven next
It's gonna be
week.
a
So
nice
make sure
little
you tune in.
segment.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice little sex segment. All right, we'll see you.
Peace.